Yeah.
Oh no, right. You've opened this can now. It's opened. No, so it's a thing called bore glue. Okay. When boys get excited and they do certain things and they're humping each other because they're guinea pigs and there's two boys. I've got a very long-haired guinea pig and a very short-haired guinea pig. Right, you've opened this can now. It's open. No, so it's a thing called.
There's a delay.
When boys get excited. Oh no, right. You've opened this can now. It's open. No, so it's a thing called a very long-haired guinea pig and a very short-haired. When boys get excited,
What is happening?
and they're humping each other because they're guinea pigs and there's two boys. A very long-haired guinea pig and a very short-haired guinea pig. You've opened this can now. It's
What is
open.
happening?
I'm getting a lot of feedback.
Yeah, it's just repeating over and over.
When boys get excited. Oh gosh.
Cool.
A very long-haired guinea pig and a very short-haired.
Okay. I think I've muted it, but I'm not sure what's going to happen with the sound when everyone starts talking. We had a bit of a guinea pig sound invasion at the start. I hope you weren't too freaked out by that. You'll find out more about them later, I guess. The guinea pigs might be the guest stars. It's hard to say. But welcome. This is ScrawlrBox Live Take 2, Part 2. We will be talking about the January ScrawlrBox, or ScrawlrBox 089, ScrawlrBox 89, a new feature that you might want to ask questions about, why we ditched the month and started doing numbers. But we are here, and I have some people with me that you may recognize. Let's bring them in. We'll start off with my colleagues. As you may know, I put you on the wrong side. I'm going to change your names. Hang on a second. I'll swap you over again. Look at me.
Technical difficulties still.
Because otherwise, I'll just because I can't call you Kat and Lee, can I? I'll change it around the wrong way. Hold on.
Oh, I was Chris for a second there.
Oh no, that's even worse. There we go. On our correct side. So yes, if you came to the last live stream, you or have spoken to us in the community or on support, you will know. I'm going to go wrong way. Kat on my left, right, and Lee on the other side. We are the ScrawlrBox team. That's pretty much it. There's no one else around. So if you get in touch with us at any point through support, through socials, email, you will get through to one of us. So yeah, this is us. Welcome. You can see there's some stuff going off in the chat already. Hello, everybody. Amy, Muffin, Katie Riles art. Hello. Some names we recognize here from the community. Welcome. We did the first one in Facebook Live. We are now experimenting with YouTube Live just to see which is easier. I mean, I've already messed up the sound, but you can hear us now, so it's all a learning curve.
Last time it was silence, and this time it was guinea pigs.
I think I prefer number 2. Right? Guinea pig chat is much better than silence for 5 minutes, or just seeing me go for 5 minutes. So yeah. Let's get started, shall we? I guess. What we're going to go through, we are going to talk about the 89 ScrawlrBox 89 and get into a bit about the supplies. But first, we've got a special guest with us, and we don't want to take up too much of her time or have her here for the whole time. Unless she wants to, she's welcome to stay. But we will, start the chat with her. It's not our featured artist from January, which we thought it might be. It is, some say, almost better. It's one of our Scrawlr stars. We've had 3 now. Kat, is that 3 Scrawlr stars we've had?
Yes.
And she was our second, if I remember rightly. I'm going to call them details. Basically, we will welcome her if I can do my technical things. It is the wonderful Steph.
Hello.
Steph, aka Trinkety. Am I saying that right? Trinkety?
Yep. It's like Trinkety with a Y.
Like trinkets with a Y, right? Like Trinkety.
Yeah,
is that what we're saying? Is that what it means? That's where it's come from?
So the Urban Dictionary describes it as tacky jewelry, which is like it was supposed to be that I have my own. I'm like a little trinket. So.
So your artwork has been gracing our feeds and Instagram for, like we said earlier, 3 years now, I think. And we just loved seeing your work. Yeah, it was always my favorite. Your style is so recognizable, and you always seem to kind of take on the challenge. I don't even know what your kind of preferred medium is, because you seem to just take to everything we throw at you so well, and you just kind of take it on like it's nothing. I'm sure you have challenges and hate some and not the others, but everything you come up with is so good that we just kind of had to kind of award you with the coveted trophy. There's not even a trophy. The coveted award of Scrawlr Star, and just to thank you for all your kind of hard work and dedication to the challenges and the boxes. So yeah, thank you for that.
Really kind. Thank you. I say it's really cool. It's like getting something different every time. It's just like, it's all right to go to the shop and go, oh, I'm going to go and buy some pens today, and I'm going to go and buy something that I feel safe using. You know, I like, oh yeah, I like watercolors. I'm an illustrator that's what I do. That's it's progressed over the last few years from just something that I did for fun to something that I now do for realsies for people. And hello. See the people in the chat. Hello. And yeah, you know what? It's always challenge. It's easy to go, oh, I like paint, but you know, you send me pens. Like, I would never have bought those things without getting them in the post and having them there to try.
But that is why I started. That's why I think one of the best things, because I've always thought like artists would go into any art supply shop and say, oh, I need a watercolor artist would go in, I need more watercolors. Just restock the colors you run out of and things like that. It's not often that you go in and buy a completely new medium or something that you've never even tried before. So I always thought that even if you don't like them or don't, you know, because you get people that say, oh, the chalks, I hate the chalks or whatever, and that's fine. But just if you try them and get on, you might not get on with them. You might love them. You know, it might give you something new that you didn't think you would like, or it might just challenge you in a way that you know, to produce something you knew, or even. But you seem to manage to still keep your style through most of the supplies. I know it's kind of probably harder some other months than is. Do you find it challenging? Like what are the boxes you found the most challenging, for instance?
So there's been two recently. There was the one where we got the oil pastels.
Yeah.
And I made a massive mistake. So the box didn't come with anything that you could fix your work with, and when you use oil pastels, they're so messy that you're going to want to fix them eventually, or you're going to make a smudgy mess even in your folder where you store your art. And so my go-to is actually radiator sealer. You spray it over something. It's like hairspray, but it's a little bit more heavy duty and deals with things like glitter, because glitter comes up sometimes when you're doing art. So it turns out that doesn't work with oil pastels. If anyone's just going, right, I need to go and get some radiator sealer, oh gosh, don't do that. It reacts with the oil pastels and actually makes glue.
Because it's kind of oil based, I guess. Is it kind of more?
Yeah, they use for a lot of them, they use something, either tallow or a substitute type of tallow, and it needs specialist stuff to fix it, and I found nothing else that'll do that.
Yeah, well, that is the thing with like chalks and oil pastels, like fixatives, and a lot of like the big paints and things. Like a lot of the art supplies that we'd like to include are either just too big to fit in the box, or too expensive. We can't include everything. It's like for oil paints, essentially, we'd love to do an oil paints box, but you'd need to include a lot of very flammable, toxic, you know, liquids
get mad.
that you can't really send internationally, or you know, things like that. So it's always been kind of like a taster, or like an entry into that things, but there's always things you could add on or add into it, which is why we're never too upset if someone says, you know, oh, I added in this other supply. It's like, that's fine. It's not, we don't, you know, it's great if you can just use the supplies that we send you, but obviously if you
I mean, I was really surprised by them in that I don't like the messy ones, because they're messy, and then I get it in my hair, and then it dyes my hair, and then it's on my table, and it but I ended up doing 4 different pieces for that one, because they were really like silky when you just doodled with them, and it was just a little thing, and it was just great. I was really surprised. It was really good.
Yeah, they were really creamy, and I like them as well. It's like that's not the sort of medium. I'm definitely more of a kind of fine liner marker pen kind of doodler, and anything kind of that really kind of pushes me. But you do kind of find your own way around it, and I think that's what I think is great. Like you wouldn't necessarily buy them, but if someone sends you it in a box that you paid for but you didn't really want, then you might as well just give it a go anyway. You're right. You might find you like it or not. If not, then you don't have to go and spend hundreds of pounds on the full set. You just try it out.
Yeah, I think anybody who's been an artist for a while has done that and gone, oh, I've seen this, it's really good, and then definitely spent too much on like trying to get one of every colour.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a victim of that.
I'm sure there are many people that can relate to having lots of. I mean, if you look behind my desk, I've got an excuse to have every single art supply around, but you sometimes just want the art supplies more than the artwork, right? I think in the end, I guess. We have, before I take up all the time just chatting to you, I could do, but we do have some. Lee and Kat would like to ask you a couple of questions while we've got you here, and then we'll ask the guys in the chat if they want to ask you any questions about whatever they want. We'll pick some of those out at the end. So get your questions in the chat and I will pick them out for you afterwards. So who should we start with first? Kat or Lee, who wants to go first?
I'll go first. My question sort of leads on from what we were just talking about, like your most challenging box. But what was your most favourite box? Because you've been doing it for 3 years. So what was the one that's been your absolute favourite?
Okay, so it's down to 2. I was having a think about this because I figured you might ask me about my favourite one, and there are 2 of them. There was, weirdly, I think they're both the January boxes. There was one that came with some Tombow markers. And a pencil. Like, I kid you not, the pencil is the best thing ever.
Yeah, I absolutely love that pencil.
I was already a bit of a nerd for Blackwing pencils, and then there was just that Blackwing pencil in that box. I think Paisley Patterns box was just so good. Like, yeah. I think I've even bought it again in the sale. I'm not even gonna lie.
That's good to hear.
It was everything in that box just worked. Like, I know that the sketchbook seemed like it was just a grey sketchbook, but the fact that you could use the Tombow markers on both sides of the paper was just like perfect. It's just a little grey book, but it's really good.
Yeah. And then the other one was was it the January one with the Karen paint marker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I really, really like squidgy. I don't know. I say juicy, but
they were squidgy, juicy.
There are some words. Okay.
Wow, I love it. Look at him. He's so cute.
There's some words are just like, oh no, juicy probably is one of those words for me, but it's the best way to describe that. The markers in that one. Oh yeah, and that guy. It was really cool making that piece because you could actually squish the markers onto like a water resistant surface. So I was using like a Pringles lid. And then you could do shading with them.
Yeah, like water them down a bit.
Yeah. Which is how I got some of the colour to do the sort of layering on it. It was really, really nice piece.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah. I'm glad you picked that one. I was like
that cow one was one of my favourite ones that you've done, I think.
I was trying to find the pictures of the January ones, but I didn't choose them because I thought that would be more bit biased on my account. But you did do. I was like, you did do lots of them on your feed. There's like 5 or 6 different ones, and they obviously inspired you to do lots on that one.
I filled the sketchbook. I just filled it.
Well, you filled the sketchbook that we sent you. That
for the Paisley Patterns one.
The comic book one there, Claire Fontaine comic book one.
That was 20. I've got. So I keep my supplies in big old boxes. Every year, except like I've got 21 in a nice neat box, but 22, which was last year's supply, are sort of escaping. Like some of them have just spilled everywhere all over my desk now. Hopefully I have it to hand. No, it's gone. I instantly dropped them.
I don't know whether I've got one somewhere. This is it. Yes, look, I've got one. This was it. This might be the original ones with the swatches. But I haven't got any good artwork in it like you, so just throw that one away. And move on. I think Lee has got some questions for you as well. So we'll bring Lee in. Hello, Lee.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah. So my question was, how do you deal with creative burnout?
So it's odd actually. When I was just me with my pens and not working and doing illustration things for people like through commissions and stuff, I didn't get burnout because I was drawing for my own enjoyment, and I had to keep reminding myself when it came to that it's fun. We do art for fun. And like forcing yourself to have fun, it doesn't work. You know, you're gonna go back on those swings. Go back on those swings. You know what I mean? You can't do that, and you have to be gentle to yourself when it comes to things like burnout. Now, when you do it, and you're trying to do it because somebody has, given you money to draw the D&D character or draw something for you, you're almost obligated to do that thing, and you fight the burnout to succeed and get the thing done. I guess it's different when it's work, but when it's for fun, it should never feel like work. I don't think that answers it. I think that's just how I'm like, how I try to get myself through the day.
I completely get that. Yeah, so are there any any things you do to help yourself get through the day? Like, do you take a break? Do you just push through? Like, what are your mechanisms for finishing a piece?
I mean, to bring things back to guinea pigs, I won't lie, my little furry potatoes are the best way to have 5 minutes break from what I'm looking at. Sometimes just giving your head a chance to clear, or your eyes a chance to, especially if you draw and you're drawing digitally, just look away from the sketchbook, look away from the screen, and be kind to yourself, and hug your cat, hug your potato child, and just
potato child,
and be kind to yourself. Burnout, it's just one of those things where it's a thing you can build yourself. You can build it into such a mountain, and I can't just say it enough, is just be kind to yourself as an artist.
That's lovely.
Excellent. Right. Well, we have some questions from the comments. One I've seen here. I'll try and bring it up on the screen, but it's quite long, so I'm not sure whether it will work or not. I'll read it out. How do you react to your intended artwork becoming something else? Do you roll with it and allow it to become different than what you imagined, or correct it? That's from Maffin.
So that depends on what you're doing when you're doing artwork. So are you copying from real life? Where you're aiming for accuracy in your drawing, or as much accuracy as you can get within reason? or are you actually going with the flow of making a piece? If I want to draw a cat, I don't always have this intended idea of what a cat will look like on paper. It really depends. Like on the most recent box, the December one, I wanted to do a cat coming through a portal, but that sort of escalated massively as things went through the page. Like I was like cat in the middle, portal all around it, and different things just built on top of each other. I guess to answer the question, the answer is yes.
You kind of have to kind of go with the flow. I mean,
yeah,
unless you're doing something, your work's not really kind of realistic in any way, is it? I guess so. You can kind of be a bit more free and things. So
you can. I guess there's two styles of drawing things. Are you drawing from real life where accuracy is important, or are you just letting the pen go for a walk on the page?
Yeah, but if do you have something in your? Well, I think you always say, do you have something in your mind when you start thing, or do you have a plan to go? And then if it doesn't go that way, do you kind of adjust it to go back to where you go, or do you just kind of roll with it and let it go?
I would be lying to you if I said that every single picture that I started went well, and I didn't just get mad, go, nope, not doing that one, and literally just like toss it. Like I would be absolutely lying if I said I hadn't had pictures that just went poorly.
But yeah, you've
yeah.
I mean, Instagram shows us all the best, but there's obviously a studio floor full of ones that didn't quite make it.
Happy mistakes.
Yeah. Or angry ones sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, if I look at the prompt when it comes to ScrawlrBox, depending on what we've sort of been tasked. I say tasked like this is my new job. No, whatever the mission orders that we get every month say, I'll try to pick out some themes around that. I quite often draw a lot of animals doing like anthropomorphic animals doing character things, or scenes. But yeah.
This is we've got Creative Soul asked, leading on to that. Creative Soul asked a question, which is, when you get a new box, do you try to go with the style of the featured artist for the new supply, or just automatically go with your own? You know,
I guess it depends. I got really captured by the style that came in the December box, and it was so close to my sort of style of drawing in that it had the heavy black lines and really sort of it was pen art, and I liked that.
Yeah.
Whereas on the one that we've just had for January with the coloured pencils, and the guest artist drew a dish of fish, it's lightly inspired what I've done with this month's stuff, but it isn't copied at all in quite the same way. I guess it depends per box. Some days you just go, that's the one for me, and other days you go, nah fam, I'm gonna go and do my own thing here.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. So you don't kind of open the box, see this thing, go, right, let's try and see, because I know some people open the box, get the supply, see the artwork, and just kind of try and almost not recreate it, but just kind of see how they've created the works with the supplies and that kind of thing. That's not kind of how you'd work. You kind of see the inspiration, take bits from it, and just add that to your style and see how that influences your artwork, I guess.
Yeah, it's such an open prompt that I guess it just depends on whether or not that artist that month, I look at it and go, yeah, I'm gonna give that a go. Although I guess on some of them we had the November box, which was all smudgy, messy, and they did portraiture. I definitely know I wouldn't have copied their style because it was portraiture, but you know,
yeah,
it all depends.
Yeah. There's no rules. That's the good thing. Even though you say it's orders and a mission, and that sounds very direct, and like the general of ScrawlrBox is going to come down and shout at you if you don't abide by the rules. That's not how it works. It's more of a starting point, isn't it? It's kind of just do what you want. Yeah, copy it if you want to copy it. Take influence from it. Try a new style. Do your own style. It doesn't really matter as long as it helps you or inspires you to create something. The point is, we send you some supplies. We want you to create something, whether it's new, old, the same as you always do, something new, the same as the featured artist. It doesn't really matter. It's just as long as you're using the supplies to create something, then it's a win for us. It's a win for you. We've done our job, and hopefully you enjoy yourself. So there's no rules.
Yeah.
There's no rules.
I was going to say, is that you turning down the title of ScrawlrBox General?
ScrawlrBox General.
Need to get you a new hat, Chris. It's going to be a crown or something.
Yeah, that'll be my next hat. Yeah, I've got too many jobs. I don't want to take on the general job.
Just get a Posca on your cap.
Yeah, general, Scrawlr General.
Bit of graffiti. It's all good. It's good for the soul.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll be coming around to everyone's houses to enforce the Scrawlr mission rules. Next month. Couple more questions. While we're going, there's Amy May says, "Can we meet the furry potatoes?"
My potato children currently. They've woken up, but I think that they
won't stress them out too much.
They might get too excited.
Yeah.
Let's not get them excited, please.
Yeah, especially after the introduction chat we were having on this, the next stream. Okay, one last question.
Every day is learning day.
Every day is learning day.
No.
That girl named
Tito and Zakalwe, they can stay back there.
How do you stay motivated to post content often? Social media is mental hell. Yeah, because you're quite consistent with your posting.
I mean, I could be more consistent. I think that's that thing where you fall into that social media trap where it's like, if you haven't posted in 3 days, are you a bad artist? No, you're not. You post when you have something that you're happy to share, and don't let the platforms bully you into feeling like less of an artist because you haven't posted in a week or something. Share when you're proud of something, and hopefully you get loads of likes and it'll go viral and everyone will think it's awesome.
Yeah, you kind of don't let Instagram dictate what you should do. I know they tell you that posting often gets you more views and all this kind of stuff, but I'm sure there are accounts out there with really great content that only post once a month or something. It's just if it gets the right content, then it will get out there. But you should be making art for yourself, not for the likes. But I know it's hard, especially if you want to try and make it as an artist or become a professional artist. You have to have that break somewhere. So
yeah, I mean, we're all visual people, and we all sort of draw inspiration by looking at stuff we find on the internet. We see so many things go by. People will see, people have definitely seen my artwork, so I've got very firm belief that people will see other artists' work that's out there, and they'll like it, and they'll follow you, and they'll be following you because they genuinely like what you're putting out there. I know that I've been like that with several artists, and yeah, it works. It does. People do. I also want to meet the furry potato. Sorry, I got distracted by creative soul back there.
We can't have the guinea pigs have their own. They can't take the limelight if we're not guinea pig chat.
Oh, I mean, they're pretty bad at art. They don't have thumbs.
They probably just eat the pencils and pens, wouldn't they? They just eat everything guinea pigs. So
if it looks like a lettuce, it's on.
Okay, well, thank you. Oh, well, do you wanna? You've said you brought some of your art to show us? I mean, I'm sure we've
Yeah,
things
love
we've seen
to see it.
before. We haven't seen before. What have you got to share with us?
So I've got. So this is this month's
Ooh.
sketchbook, and it hasn't gone on. It hasn't gone on my Instagram yet because I've been trying to. Why did you do this? Why did it's so hard to photograph? And it's this whole thing. It's like a concertina sketchbook, and I think our prompt was dish of the day.
Yeah, that was
But you remember how I was saying that the artist for this month was like fish of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we are.
Oh,
This is
Oh,
fish
that's
of
so
the day.
cool.
So it's about sardines. I actually on my box, which I don't have to hand, crossed out dish of the day. I crossed out the dish and changed it to fish
yeah.
because this
Oh
this
my
month's
gosh.
one
It's
is
just
all about fish and
oh wow.
sardines. Twist that way around.
Wow. So good.
Is he vomiting?
What's the fish
Yeah,
vomiting?
it's vomiting cans of sardines.
I love it.
Of course.
I love it.
And, so yeah, I haven't finished yet because I'm good, but I'm not that good.
I
So
mean,
You don't have
No,
to fill the whole sketchbook every time. Like,
No,
look, right.
She will fill the whole sketchbook.
So right. You gave me a sketchbook, and it's like challenge accepted. So
okay. So we just need to find a bigger sketchbook next time.
Wow. I really love
That's so
the
good.
vomiting one.
That's so good.
But, I mean, this wasn't an easy one. It's a really cool biro we have from this one.
Yeah.
That little thing. But it's not like my favorite markers and things like that. But what was really interesting about it was the blending pen. So, it's just a biro, but you can paint with it.
Yeah, that's what I loved about the blending pen.
Yeah, and I've never done that before. And so even though I have been doing like millions of pieces of artwork and things before, turning a blending pen on a biro, that's new. That's my next one. It's like, I don't know if you can see it. It's like spinning plates with fish on them and some sleeping fish in a sardine can.
Oh.
And
I can't wait to see all these
I know.
like posts.
So,
It does look it doesn't look like your normal. I guess because we haven't got the outline. Maybe I don't know it's not really your normal style, like because there's no black outline. I guess, but the blue pen we swapped it out with. So
yeah. It's like sardines invaded a chip shop and stole all their signage. That's where I was going.
That's a great inspiration.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
this
amazing.
one.
So you're
spoilers.
Well, no, we love spoilers, so that's what we want. Thank you for that little bit. So we look forward to that post. Will we be posting before we finish the whole sketchbook, or do we have to wait till the whole sketchbook's
well, we might get somewhere. I haven't run out of momentum yet, so yeah.
So you're enjoying the 89 ScrawlrBox. You're enjoying the supplies. There's the biro's your like the best supply in that one. Are you thinking, or was it the blender pen? The blender pen.
Kat was right. It was blender pen all the way.
Yeah, I guess that kind of takes you back to your markers, doesn't it? And that's where you're going through. Yeah, anything pen based.
Yeah, it's always out. It's nice outlines. Fill in the gaps. It's like making your own colouring page.
Yeah. Well, brilliant. Thank you very much for the insight, and thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for doing all your hard work, like filling sketchbooks, and just for the, we don't pay you to do that. You started off buying the boxes. I know we're sending them for free now because you're a Scrawlr star, so we just want to see more of your wonderful artwork. But
just feeding my addiction to art supplies. It's great.
Yeah. Well, if you keep creating pieces like this, we'll keep sending you stuff. It's amazing. So thank you so much for that. And also, we've got some other. A little birdie tells me that it might be someone's birthday in a couple of days. So we are also going to send you a birthday gift of some more art supplies. Hooray! Just what
Happy birthday
you.
for the 26th.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, we've got some of these mystery bags, which are it's kind of a mixture of old stock samples, some that you may have had or not before, but we'll get one of those in the post to you.
Thank you. That's amazing.
Another Scrawlr mission, so you can create something new for your. You don't have to. I'm going to squeeze in like a 300-page sketchbook in there, just because I know you'll have to fill it.
Yeah. Challenge accepted from the Scrawlr General says fill this sketchbook.
Yeah. So I look forward to doing that. No, but they're really.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Thank you so much for everything, and the great chat. I know I've enjoyed listening to all your wise words, and we look forward to seeing the next post and the post after that and the post after that. Yeah, thanks very much. You're welcome to stick.
Thank you for having me. I guess I might have to draw the guinea pigs now or something. I'm in the Facebook group.
Yes, yeah, because you are in the community as well. So yeah, we'll be hounding you there for a little bit more info on your potato children. And
thank you for all the art supplies.
No, thanks for joining us, and you're welcome to stick around and get involved if you want, or you just crack on, fill in that sketchbook, because we will be waiting for the next upload.
You have me for a little bit longer before I have to scramble away and go and feed my partner.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you for that. You just nip out whenever or dip in whenever, but we'll go into the next section now, which would be the kind of unboxing, not an unboxing, but a bit more of a deep dive or behind the box of the 89 ScrawlrBox 80. I still can't say it right. I mean, how do I expect everyone else to know? Let me get rid of that as well. So we're going to this. So here we go. I've got the box here. Just going to go into a few bits. We got the pen. Let me just get it out here. Okay. So ScrawlrBox 89, as we saw from Steph, had some dish of the day, but a lot of people did do fish of the day, didn't they? A lot of people did do fish of the day, but it was dish of the day. But maybe because fish was the memento, I guess the icon of the featured artwork. Here's the lovely featured artwork here by Zutong Wang. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably murdering that. But we loved this artwork when we came in. The print, and we've got the original to maybe give away in a competition coming soon.
I really don't want to give it away, so...
I blame those fish.
Yes, so what do we do? Yeah, so I chose the artist because we're working with the art Derwent on the pencils, and she's obviously worked with Derwent before. She was part of the Derwent Art Prize. Derwent do a competition every year where they do a gallery show of all their artists that use their supplies, and they pick a prize winner. And I don't think she won the prize, but she was definitely nominated. She may have won. She was definitely nominated for a Derwent Art Prize, and just her pencil style, this and all her other works, she did a lot of food stuff and a lot of kind of in in kind of like street sketches and things like that, which we showed some in our interview. All these kind of sketches here, like, just really show is a different way to use pencils. It was kind of sketchy and loose, and I just think it worked really well with supplies and not your standard pencil artist. Yeah.
I really like that one in the middle.
This one.
No, in the pictures on that page, there's like a street one right in the middle. It was lovely.
With the dogs.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my favourite, though, the dog walk one. But she had loads to choose from. So yeah, I've got. I am having. Can I just pass over to you, Kat, while I go and open the front door for my family? Yeah, so then maybe you guys can talk about your favourite supplies from the box quickly, and I'll come back. Just give me 2 seconds. Sorry, just a dog on you. Go.
Go. So, me and Steph just spoke about this. The blender pen was probably my favourite in the box to work with. I found that it sort of like it worked a little bit like watercolour in the way that you could just blend it out, like make it bleed and bloom into the rest of the work, but then you could still layer pencils over the top of it. Did you find that, Steph? You could just layer back over the top of it if you used it like this.
Well, you could also scribble a pencil on a separate bit of paper and load up that blender pen to get a gradient as well, which was pretty cool. I had a fight between the two greys when I had my box. I didn't get along with the light grey with the blender pen. It wasn't quite as strong, but that dark grey was brilliant, and it was better than having just a regular HB pencil. I used the light one as like an under thing just to draw over the top up again. And what I liked again about the blender pen is when using it with the ballpoint, it picked up the pigment. So even though it wasn't like I wasn't intending it, I could use it to make like little marks across what I was doing. Yeah, like exactly that. I thought it was pretty cool.
Okay.
What I liked about that one.
So I am back now. I'm sorry. Apparently.
Was it anyone important? Is it fun?
Oh yeah, it's just my family.
Okay, yeah, let them in.
They're pretty important.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why they didn't have a key, but you know.
You must live on the lawn now.
Yeah. So yeah, I missed that, but
we were just talking about the blender pen and how it was nice to like layer underneath and over the pens and pencils.
Oh yeah. Well, someone asked
the blue-coloured pencil, by the way, was the best one of the pencils, but I'm pretty biased. Blue is my favourite colour.
Blue was the one that got the most. I mean, there's kind of, it was kind of the most pigmented as well, I guess. Isn't it? Because the peach was, I quite like the peach, but it is quite subtle, so it takes a lot of what was it called? Pale peach, yeah. But the blue.
Important questions before you start, though. Do you just draw in the middle of the sketchbook, or do you start at one end?
I know, I was looking at that like Chris.
I'm going to say
absolute savage.
Well, this doesn't matter, does it?
In the middle of the sketchbook.
Yeah, but I'm just swatching, so I'm not worrying about it.
Whoa!
You can't be too fussy about that. Well, you start in the middle because you can never start on the first page, because if you start on the first page, then you go, well, that has to be the best artwork you've ever done, because that's going to be the first one people see. Either you do that or you just miss the first page completely. Like, no one starts on the first page of the sketchbook, do they?
This is an argument as old as time. Okay, the first page debate.
No, I'd say go straight. I just open up the sketchbook and go for it.
That's so reckless, Chris. I didn't know this about you.
Did you not? What do people say in the comments about that? First page or not? What are we saying?
Or directly right into the heart of the sketchbook.
Yeah, straight into the
leaving yourself a mystery, going, oh, this sketchbook appears to have been unused. Oh, I'll go and start right in the middle. Wait a minute, what's this?
I would do. That's crazy.
What was that, Lee? I can't hear you. Come a bit closer.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. You're just a bit muffled.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Amy just said, how do you do that? Just jump in the middle. I'm shooketh, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of people. Everyone. Oh my gosh.
Shocked.
Everyone.
I've broken
I've broken the
I'm
internet.
glad that our people are sane.
Everyone's. Come on. There must be one person.
Yeah, there's a creative soul says I do.
Don't just agree with it.
Oh, that girl in them, yes, skip the first page. You're not alone, Chris. Apparently there are other savages out there.
Savages. Okay. Well, okay. So I'm not gonna do any artwork here. I've already feel like I've destroyed everybody's art dreams by I can't even find it now. That's the problem. See, I can't find it.
Don't run away from the middle now. Finish what you started.
I'm just going to go on a different page now. Now I'm going to start on the first page. Well, which is the first page? This is sketchbook. It's kind of like two ways, right? There's two sides, two ways. There could be four first pages. You can open it up this way, but then turn it round the same side, but then that way, turn it over. It's kind of like there's a lot of pages, and you can go on. That's a good thing. You could go on both sides, and it won't bleed through because each page is 2 pages stuck together. So that's what I really liked about this sketchbook, and I think it kind of makes this. It's so different. Yes, the concertina makes it really difficult to take photographs of, but it's fun, and it's kind of. I've seen lots of people do artworks that are 2 or 3, 4 long. Some like you've kind of chosen each page like a sketchbook, haven't you? You could have done a separate design on each page.
I think that was probably the hardest barrier on starting that sketchbook. Actually, was deciding whether or not I just wanted one continuous story, as if it was a really long piece of paper, or individual pages.
Yeah, so we've been obviously looking through some of the artworks to choose our top 3, which I don't think we've finalised yet. I think we'll be doing that tomorrow. We'll be picking our top 3 and posting this box on the website for anyone who hasn't got it. It should be available tomorrow, but we haven't picked the top 3 yet. So if you post them tonight, or in the next, before say lunchtime tomorrow, you may have a chance to be in the top 3 still. Hopefully, most people have them now. I know there's a bit of an issue with January and getting them shipped out, but most people should have them. And there are lots of different artworks to have just one page. Some people decide to go the whole way through. We saw, I can't remember who was it, Kat, who did a lovely kind of reveal where one page was like this, and then you can kind of.
Oh yeah, there's actually a couple because I've just been reminded because she's here in the chat. Katie Riles did a really nice one that was like it opened out.
It's kind of like I didn't even think about it, but it's kind of like the game of consequences, right? You remember how you draw that kind of thing? You do a drawing.
Yeah, and then
open it up, and you can draw something else along. This is going to be,
consequences. Is that what you guys call it?
Is that not what it was?
You're talking about corners.
Corners?
No, I corners.
Yeah, when you had a piece of paper.
Oh no, not that one.
Head. No, it's not consequences. That's wrong. What was it? It's kind of someone draws the head, and you fold it down, and then someone draws the top bit, and then you fold it down again.
We just called that Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
We called it Frankenstein.
Yeah, what consequences is a different game, I think.
That's Beetle Drive, isn't it? Where you make a giant beetle.
These all sound great games. Let's get this started. If only we could. Is there a digital version of it? There must be a digital version where you can pass it across. But yeah, I like the way that people are using the sketchbook in like the way it was formed to influence the art, and how others do long ones and things like that. I think we were going to talk about some of our favourites, and maybe that's a good point to go into there. I know maybe if Kat, you want to talk about your one?
My one?
Yeah,
My
your
favourite one so far. I saw a really good one today. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly. It was on Instagram. It was by somebody called Vulture. What something?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I've got some images here. Hold on.
And it was like, a snake, and then also like there's like donuts and waffles and stuff in the background. I saw that today, and I just thought it was really cool.
That is super cool. It's kind of like an Ouroboros kind of, type of picture. I love it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So interesting.
I love all the textures and marks in there. It's delicious.
Waffles, they've got me.
Kat does love a good texture.
I love a texture. That's correct.
Yeah.
Take notes now.
That was good. I was trying to find some of the other images as well, because you had one as well, Lee. Did you have a favourite one? I'm trying to find the images for that.
Yeah, my one was Danny.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the magic soup.
It was the magic soup.
Which was this one, I believe.
It's just so lovely. It's so lovely. And just like, that's what I see when I have a cup of tea at the end of the day. It's just.
What do you put in your tea?
Magic.
That's some special tea there.
Oh, that's really nice.
It's beautiful. It's really cool.
Yeah, I really liked. There was one that I really liked, which kind of we've seen her work before. It is Twisted Mandala, I think. She kind of did this whole. It's almost like a menu or just ingredients, but kind of the way it goes across the whole page. I really liked the use of. It's kind of like a list of things, all different things, but little kind of illustrations, and had some fun things in there as well. But yeah, it
could be a recipe book.
Yeah. Well, that's what I really liked about, and also what I really like about the challenges, right, is that each month that the challenge goes out, we put the dish of the day. Someone changes it to fish, and then you kind of just draw what you want, and everyone does something completely different. Something, no one draws the same thing. That's what I love, and everyone gets the same box, the same supplies, but no one draws the same thing. So whether you've been an artist for a week or 10 years, you're a professional or just a hobbyist, it's so interesting to see your interpretation on what you come up with based on the inspiration. So that's that's what my favorite. I know I said this last time, but it is my favorite time of the month, and puts all the hard work of getting the boxes together and worrying if they're going to be good once they go out and into the world, and then people start actually creating with them and sending stuff in. It's like, yes, I never thought of that, or things like that. And also the Scrawlr sketches as well that we do in the community, like all the different challenges and seeing what people do. That is good. So thank you for that.
So here's a weird question. What's your favourite one, Chris? As you get to put them all together, obviously with your team.
My favourite box.
I bet they know already which is your favourite.
I can't spot my box. I mean, I guess that I have to that one because that's the one I picked, right? So I picked all the supplies for that one, which was the January.
You always pick all the supplies.
Oh yeah, I know. I always pick all the supplies, but it is influenced. We work with the artists sometimes, and if it was just me all the time, there'd be kind of fine liners and alcohol markers. I know a lot of people say there's pens in all of them. But that would have to be in mind because it's the art supplies I use. Those are the colours that I always doodle with. So, and obviously the Scrawlr pencil, which is the winner. So yeah, that would have to be my favourite, but not because I am in it, but because they're the supplies I use. And
all about me.
But recently, my favourite has been the January 21, the Karen Deco paint marker one that you also like.
I love me some
You
Karen.
have to get out of my mind or me out of yours.
Yeah, that was because those pens were. I really liked them before when we did the water-based ones, but the kind of acrylic version or the acrylic ink version of them, the deco, it was just so good. They kept that like a paint marker, kept the, I don't want to say the word that we don't like, juiciness of them. But that's what it was. It just kind of puts the ink down so well, and it was just
So
really fun to use, and the ink was pigmented and it just dried really nice. I just really enjoyed that box. And Roots did a really good job.
I found the nib really fun as well of the Karen markers. The nib was like, I don't know, it wasn't spongy, but it was like flexible, and the way it just squishy, and it just laid the ink so perfectly, and how you could like load the two pens together to create another color. Oh, love them. Big fan.
Yeah, it was really good. But I really like the August, the oil pastel ones, because not necessarily because of the supplies, because I like everyone else, I struggled. I really wanted to be good at them, but it's that kind of style and painting that I'm not very good at. But I really enjoyed using them. They were really creamy, but just the artwork that people created with them was really good. And that's what, like, I think that was my favorite, kind of seeing the feed, the ScrawlrBox or the Scrawlr Challenge feed, and everyone's kind of designs, like, it all looked really good and like a bit free, and all the colors worked really well together. That was just a really good section of artwork from everyone. So that was a good one.
I think they ambushed everyone, because everyone's like, oh, oil pastels. Oh no, well, I'm going to give it a go anyway. And then suddenly you just were like, all right, I'm going to keep going. These are great. It was brilliant. I think I'm going to tack in probably one of the supplies. That's probably one of the most unsung heroes, I think, for ScrawlrBox. There's this jelly pen that came, I can't remember which box it was in. It's the Uni Signo pen. I've got one on my desk, in fact, because I now get them all the time.
The broad one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes over things as well as a Posca pen does, but it's like a little jelly roller, and I was like,
it's thinner, and it's I get you. So opaque, it's great.
They are
the unsung hero though, because I would normally swear against jelly pens, but nope, that one can stay.
Yeah, definitely. That is, it gets I think most of the problem with jelly pens and white pens is that they don't put down enough ink. That's the problem. Or they're not opaque enough. Like, that's where the white Posca is good, because the ink comes out and it's opaque. But that's another one that is, you can use like a pen, but it's still opaque, and especially with the broad tip, then it gets enough ink down. So it's a good one.
We should answer some questions.
Oh, have I been?
Are you drinking paint water?
Yeah. Are you drinking paint water, Lee? Someone's asked.
Possibly.
It's the Oh, of course. Sorry, I thought she was actually drinking paint, but we're talking about the artwork, so I'm a bit behind there. Yeah.
So that's my
paint water just goes. It's always brown. It never stays. If it stayed looking like that, you probably would drink it, right? It looked really good.
Yeah.
Paul Brambridge asks, at what point do you go from hobbyist to a professional? I mean, I'm not professional here, so how do you answer those questions?
I guess when you find enough people who like your artwork and are happy to pay you enough that you don't have to worry, I guess. But these days, you're always going to have some worry that there aren't people there who want that work. Being an artist is not easy, and it can be terrible in that there will be quiet months when people don't want to hire you, but there'll also be spicy months where too many people want you, and I can tell you that is just as bad as too little. It's a challenge, and it's always one of those things where people will tell you that your artwork is good enough, why don't you sell it? And that transition from hobbyist to professional, it can really sap the fun out of what you do. So always be careful on that friendly advice, because it can kill it.
Why did we change to numbers?
Someone asked
I
that.
want to know this because I don't know.
Because good question.
We were going to do it last year and Chris chickened out.
Well, because of the way it takes. It's recently been taking so long to get to people. Like the January boxes, and everyone on YouTube, they say, like, I think like Waffles always used to say it, like, I think this is the January box or is it the February box, but I got it now, so I'm doing it now. And you know, it's always confusing to say, you know, it's shipping in January, so is it going to be the January box or like a magazine subscription? So I thought we just go simple, we just have the numbers, then it doesn't matter. Also, if you're using it in, you know, 6 months time, or a lot of people don't open them straight away, or they've got 6 left that they haven't got through. So the date becomes irrelevant of when you've got it or not. It's more about the number, and you can just relate to that edition by its number rather than the month and year where it came from. I think as we get forward, you look back at, you know, box 89 or things like that, and you to be able to say that rather than January 21, January, you know, like we are. I mean, we probably, like we still have been, will be calling it that, but hopefully it will just kick on from that. So I think it makes sense in my head. We didn't do it last year because I chickened out and I thought it'd be too confusing.
It's okay. We will all know when box 100 happens.
Well, yeah, box 100 is coming up.
Now?
It's coming up this year. It'd be December.
Katie Riles has just said, have we got something special planned for box 100?
Yeah. Yes.
Never.
Well,
no.
Nothing. It stops.
Yeah, we're going to stop. Box 99 is the last ever ScrawlrBox. No, of course. Yeah, well, that's another reason. I know we did something good for box 50, and that seemed, I mean, I can't believe it was that long ago, but yeah, box 100 will be coming up. It will be at the end of this year. So it's going to be a good one, and we're going to have something special put in there, some extra bits and pieces. So yeah, stick around and wait for that one. Yeah, of course, we've got to celebrate 100 boxes. That's 100. We sent out 100 boxes. That's just crazy. And I know that some people that have been subscribed since day one, and haven't missed a box, which is just madness. Their house must be even more full of art supplies than mine. But no, we thank those people
like 1,000 times.
Yeah, but yeah, maybe another Katie, another a pin for the one. We could always do another pin, but maybe something a bit more exciting. It's 100, right? So we should do something more fun.
Creative Soldiers asked if we're doing a special Inktober box this year, and we won't be doing an Inktober box as such, but we do have another Scrawltober planned, which we've already done.
I'm going to be doing that this year.
Yeah, Inktober is another difficult one, isn't it? Because again, it's the timing of it, and it has to be when you get there. It has to be before October, and it has to be.
It has to be like a few months before, so you could plan your things, and then.
And not everyone knows what it is, so it's kind of confusing to some people. But yeah, we'll do some kind of October challenge.
I can say, for anybody who was wondering what that is, it's like a big art challenge where you do a prompt every single day for the whole month of October. There are some other ones, like there is a mermaid themed one, which is on one of the other months as well.
In May, yeah, mermaid.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so if we did, I know that's so we'd end up doing, and then we'd have to do it every year, I guess. Like, unless we did like a one-off box, I guess we could do a special one-off box. I think we'd like to look into more boxes that are different or outside of the monthly subscription, which could be a bit bigger or different or something like that. Don't sit inside the subscription, but we shall see. Well, how long have we been going already? Quite a long time, probably. Over an hour.
I may have another question, if that's okay with you
Yeah,
guys.
of course.
Yeah.
Right. This is an important question, okay? I hold this dear to my heart. So you have to understand when I say the colour yellow, Chris. Right?
What? Is that, have we not put
No, the colour yellow. So we were wondering, it doesn't feature very often in ScrawlrBox. And I say we, and like there's a bunch of artists like myself who get together and do some of our Scrawlr stuff together. And it doesn't show up that often, does yellow? Cat is smiling like Cat is aware of. Yellow is a good colour.
But it was in December.
Yellow's kind of difficult, I find.
Yeah.
The yellow, like it's in most like a paint pen, spray paint, alcohol marker. A yellow is always notoriously difficult to work with. It's the one that smudges. It's the one that's not quite opaque enough. I hate yellow.
I agree.
I'm against yellow. I
Putting it out there for the world.
Always siding towards the tealy turquoisey ScrawlrBoxy colours because that's what I want. But then it goes with you do. I link it towards the artist's work, obviously, to use the same colours that they've used or colours that they like using. Or I do try and mix it up and not use the same colours. We have had yellow a lot, but maybe not recently. There might be yellow coming up in a box soon.
Spoilers.
Yeah. So no, I didn't realize. So I'm going to go back and look at all the boxes now and see what colors. I try and mix up.
What have I done?
it's the thing. I try and mix up the medium so it's not just paint pens all the time. But I know people will shout at me for that. But sometimes it's not always that easy to get things. Sometimes boxes have to happen for a specific reason or deadlines or ways of timings of getting them. But color wise, I think there was a yellow oil pastel. There was definitely a yellow ink.
Yep.
In July.
Those inks were so surprising. They came in these little tubs, and you were like, "Oh, okay, that looks a little dull." And then you put them on the paper, and they're just like, "Bah!" It was very colourful, and I loved them. I think
Yeah.
There was a yellow in the Karen Deco pigment pens, but yeah, maybe I think I've done too many yellows. There's a yellow pencil in the April box,
but nothing's particularly yellow themed. So that's always like
but yellow is one of those colours that you'd have to. When as soon as you mix it with anything else, it turns into the other colour almost. It's kind of unless you want specific. The yellows have been there, like the yellow was in
hiding
in the January box, which you used for your.
That's what started us thinking down the line of what is the most frequent colour, and it is probably the tealy blues in the ScrawlrBox colours.
That's probably
just subconsciously always there.
Yeah, no, probably subconsciously. Yeah, I've got me to blame for that for sure. But I don't know, busted. I think breaking up, Steph.
No.
We've invited in someone from the group, and now she's going to quiz us on everything. No, I try and make each box a different theme color, and I do think about what colors are coming up, and I don't want to have it too orangey box and a orangey box, a red, that kind of thing. But also, if you give too many colors, if you give the whole, a whole set of colors, then it doesn't work as a theme so much. So it's quite nice to limit those colors down rather than give a whole set of colors, because then it doesn't. People would, can do what they want rather. It's not so much of a challenge, I think.
It's perfect. Limited palette is just perfect.
I think that we need to film a day in a Scrawlr General so that people can get an idea of how much work Chris actually puts into each and every box.
Yeah.
Because every box is so meticulously thought out. Even like when I started working for ScrawlrBox, even down to the suite it's crazy how much he actually thinks about it.
Yeah,
and like,
it's
you know,
stressed about, like,
it's great. You know, nothing is just like splashed together just because that's what he's got on hand. You know, the thought process and the planning that goes into it is just great.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that because he's my boss either.
They don't. It doesn't always work. And there, obviously, we've had some bad boxes and good ones. But then, with the boxes I don't like are the ones that people seem to like the most, which is really strange. Like, I think, oh no, I'm really not happy with this one, and then it goes out, and then people love it, or I really like it, and then people don't like it, obviously, because I'm trying to. But then at the same time, you can't please everyone. So there'll be people that want watercolors every month.
By the way.
Which
Perfect.
What? Sorry.
The Vimto suite that was in the box was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to. I try and match the colours to the suite. I try and match. It doesn't always go to plan, but they're just trying to keep the theme of the box, because I know a lot of the other boxes might just chuck a few random boxes together, or colours together, and also, like, I think it's very important. I know we have done it a few times, like with the biros, there was some black and blue, and people, like, as much as possible, we try and keep it each box exactly the same, because I know there's some others that you might just get around. Someone's going to get the brown and the green, someone's going to get the red and the yellow, and I don't think that works so much. When I started, I really wanted each box to be the same, so when everybody gets it, they're all using the same supplies and they're all at the same starting point, and then you can kind of, see how everybody does it, and it kind of, you know that that's that box because of the color palette. But more yellows, that's fine. I'm going to do surely right.
Slightly biased. I mean, my favorite color is still blue, and so we get a lot of really, really good blues.
But as a Scrawlr star, maybe we should get you on as a featured artist, Steph, to do your own box, and then we'll put you in the shoes and get you to choose all the supplies. And then where's the yellow? Where's the yellow? Or they'll all just.
It's going to be a yellow box, isn't it?
All the yellow. No, because there's is it Zoe Hart was like, no yellow, please.
Yeah, exactly. You can't please everyone. That's the problem. The watercolor artist won't like the paint pen, but the paint pen artist won't like, which is, you're not gonna love every box. And I'm not saying if you subscribe to ScrawlrBox, each box will be your ideal box, but that's not the point, is it? The point is that
you've never put a box together, even if the supplies haven't been my favorites. You've never put a box together that has been disappointing, if you know what I mean. There's not been something there that you could pick up and make a piece of artwork with.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's good.
Yeah,
that is good. That would be. I mean, that's what I always think. Like, the people do sometimes get angry or get annoyed with the contents, but I always feel like it's the challenge is there. Just give it a go. And it frustrates me more when people say, they open the box, they say, oh, it's oil pastels, for instance, and they just say, I'm not going to use that, or they don't even try it. It's like, wow, you haven't even given it a go. Like, even if you've got to open it, you've got to, even if you just scratch them down or rub them around, you might find something that you can use them for. Or I'd much rather you create something terrible if just by using it, you might think it's terrible, but other people won't think it's terrible, than just not even try them at all. That would be very sad.
Yeah. Create a monster.
Yeah.
I had the oil pastels on somebody else's table, so I'm okay. The mess was over there. It was their table.
I think that was the messiest box. I mean, there's always the ones like
the alcohol ink was probably
the alcohol ink.
Okay, so they stain as well.
Yeah, I've got pink dots on the floor.
Yeah, they do get everywhere, and that doesn't come off your hands for a long time either. But the one, and like the watercolor sheets and things like that. But I think the oil pastels were better. It was when we had like the charcoals and the chalks. It's the dusty ones that I think are the worst, because the dust.
Or like the Yono pens, the pastel Yono pens.
They were messy. I mean, any art supply can be messy, right? It depends how creative you get. I think the messier you are, the more creative you're being.
I'm going to say you can tell when I've had a good day in that it's in my hair. So these little bits, just dipping them in.
Yeah. Well, we've well, is there anything else that we need to cover? Yep, we've kept Steph here for too long.
Okay, my partner's not come by to give me the eyes of go feed me or let's go do computer games or something.
I'm getting eyes because Man United are playing soon, so
okay,
we're ready for that.
Well,
yeah, I guess it's time to say it has been lovely, and thank you for listening to me talk about my appreciation for the colour yellow and all of the art supplies that you guys have been sending me and stuff. And thank you so much. It's so cool.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you, Steph. It's been lovely.
Yeah. We're thank you so much for coming and chatting to us, staying for as long as you did, and again, thank you for all your wonderful creations, and we look forward to seeing many more of them. So yeah, thanks very much.
Yep. Bye-bye then.
Thanks, Steph. Bye. Oh. And now it's just us. So I guess we should
Hi, Tracy.
Wrap this up. Has anyone got any other questions before we go? I did want to say let's do another giveaway for people that have been sticking around this whole time. So we're sending Steph one of these Scrawlr packs. So we will send one of you guys one of those too. We started doing that last month, so let's do it again. So if you type into the comments yellow, let's just anyone that types yellow into the comments, and we'll pick one of you to win a Scrawlr pack. So type that. Also, if you've got any other questions for us before we go, I know Steph has already grilled us. I feel like we've already been grilled for so long for doing it.
I'm just waiting for the yellows to roll in.
Yeah.
Yellow.
If you have any ideas for, boxes for this live stream, we did have a plan. We didn't really stick to it, but we spoke about a few things. It was great just chatting to Steph, wasn't it, and getting her view on stuff.
She's lovely.
So yeah, please send things to us via email. You can send them to Lee at support@ScrawlrBox.uk, and she'll forward them on, or get in the Facebook community group and just let us know. We'd love to hear your ideas about boxes for the future, things you want to see in the live stream. Is it too long? What else you want to see? Or we could do other ones that are, we just wanted to kind of open up this avenue to kind of let you talk to us and get to know us as a team a bit better. So hopefully we can do that. Some yellow coming in. Not many yellows.
Coming in.
Type in yellow.
Lots of yellow.
Oh.
I saw a question, but it's gone. I need to scroll. Louise Marshall Jones asked, "How do you pick your artist of the month?"
That's always a tough one. Like sometimes we find the artist, and then that leads us to the supplies. Well, there's an artist that I really want to work with, or I know would be good for a box. Then I'll find them, get into contact with them, and talk to them about whether they'd like to do it, and what supplies they'd use, and then that kind of starts off that journey, talking to suppliers. Or the other way around would be we find the supplies that we want to use, and then either talk to the supplier about who uses them, or then go on a hunt and see who we can find that uses those. So if you use a specific supply and hashtag it when you do your artwork, then that might be a way that we find it. So basically it's kind of finding the artist or finding the supplies, and then just linking the two. Either one, the artist comes first or the art supply comes first. But yeah, that's kind of the way we do it.
We don't necessarily just go for professional artists either, do we? It's just someone we think has a lot of talent. So it might not necessarily be their profession. It's just we've seen something, we've fallen in love with it, and we want it.
Yeah, I don't think that's even one of the. I mean, that's definitely not criteria. I don't think I've ever asked an artist if it's their job or not before. I've just seen their artwork and then, started talking to them and seeing if they'd like to do it. I'm sure a lot of them. I mean, I guess most of them will be professional artists, but some of them will have normal jobs as well. I didn't say proper jobs then, but normal jobs.
Proper job.
Okay. If you want to type in yellow, you got to do it now because I'm going to pick a winner before this stream ends. It's not going to be available tomorrow. So last chance to say yellow, and I'm going to pick a random person. There's a few yellows, so.
Oh. Was that you, Kat?
No, can you hear Luca in the background?
Oh.
He's watching something funny on YouTube. Man U are warming up. The TV's on. Manchester United are getting ready to play. The boys are ready. That's our house. Football is our house. Football and art.
The two go together so well. Okay. Now I'm going to pick. Oh, there's a few more last minute yellows. Okay. I think there's a few second yellows. A few people have been writing yellow twice, which is fine.
Yellow.
Okay. The winner of the yellow comment and the Scrawlr pack is.
Drum roll.
Drum roll. I do have a drum roll. Where is that? I gotta use this. Paul Bainbridge. Paul Bainbridge. Paul. If you get in contact with us, or we shall try and get in contact with you. I don't know how it works on YouTube. Can we contact him without putting your email in the comments? But
maybe send a message to support, and then because Lee knows, so Lee can pick it up, and we can get him and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look.
I can pin this message.
A very professional general.
Okay. Well done, Paul. Thank you, everyone else, for coming along. I think it's been a pretty good stream so far. I've enjoyed it. It was great chatting to Steph and being grilled about things. Hopefully everybody got some answers and got to know us a bit better. So thank you all for coming along. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for staying and listening. We will be in the community group. We'll be on the emails, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're everywhere. So just at ScrawlrBox us or send us an email. And we will be here next month taking a look at the next box, which is being shipped right now. It's on its way. So hopefully everyone will have it by next month, and yeah, we'll do the same kind of thing. So thanks again for coming. Yeah. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Lee. Thank you again.
Thanks, guys.
Trinity.
Thanks.
And we'll see you next month. Thanks, guys. Bye.